Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here. I'm at the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center, Wareham, Massachusetts, as most of you know. So it's been a while since I've done cards, and I thought I could pull some cards on a couple of things that have been sort of rolling around in my head. Of course, Ukraine is number one on my mind, and the fate of the Ukrainian people and their leader, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So I'm using my Crow Tarot, and I want to just take a look at the Ukraine situation, and we'll see what comes up for that. I'm just going to leave it very general and see where the reading takes me. And I'm almost ready. Alrighty. So we start the reading off, the present situation. The Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. There is an amassing, a regrouping. The Seven of Pentacles is an energy of not quite ready, but working hard to be ready. And I feel like this is the Ukrainian army, or military, I guess, amassing what they can, aid from Europe and America and all their allies. So I feel like that's where they're standing. There's not a whole lot of action here, but there is collecting. There's an energy of collecting. Let's see what challenge is that? Illumination. It's an interesting card to come up, the Sun being the crossing card of this amassing of weapons. And what this says to me is that while I believe that at least most of my viewers would want to see the Ukrainians be given what they need to survive, or hold off the Russians. The illumination of this whole cycle, this is an old cycle, right? We do this over and over and over again. The difference is that we're in a way more connected than we've ever been before, and more aware of each other than we've ever been before. And I think that's, there are those who will stay in a certain mindset that says, this is the way it is. It's always like this. They do that. We do this. They're going to be like this. We're going to be like that. It's as if looking at it from the past, which to a certain extent we have to do. Saturn, the planet of the past, really. The planet of the lessons that we learn, the karmic lessons that we learn in Aquarius by being human or by being part of a greater whole. Aquarius is very tribal, so we have this energy of the tribe coming up. Squaring the nodes. The nodes in the sky is the evolutionary direction. It's the direction of our destiny. Like, if we want to evolve, we have to move in the direction of Taurus. And what does that say? Well, it says we have to figure out what our resources are, what we can afford to have, spend, do, be. Taurus is about stability, and so we want to move in the direction of stability. But we can't move in the direction of stability until we review what's gone on in the past, because the resolution node of Saturn square the nodes is the South Node in Scorpio. And so we have to kind of look at if we take that South Node in Scorpio and we look to the ruler of the South Node in Scorpio, we could look at the planet Mars and we could look at the planet Pluto. Now, Pluto is in Capricorn. It's been there since 2008. And so that Pluto energy, has been sort of accumulating. Now, the nodes are on a 19-year cycle. So the last time the South Node was in Scorpio was about 19 years ago. So we can go back to that time to see, right, to connect it with this moment. But there's a need to go to the past and face the shadow before we can move into the future with the Taurus energy. So we have to deal with that South Node first. And if we look at it through the lens of Pluto, which is the modern ruler of Scorpio, we can see this progressive decline of institutions that have up to this point sort of held everything together. Pluto and Capricorn. And so there is a releasing of that energy. Now we go to Mars, right? Because Mars is the co-ruler of Scorpio. Mars at this moment is in Aquarius. Tribalism. Aquarius is very tribal. Group orientation. But it's also humanitarian endeavor. It's also a realization that the need for freedom and justice and liberty, that every individual deserves that. Now, that being said, there are a couple of caveats to that. You have to have the rule of law in order for that to work. You have to have a free press in order for that to work. You have to have the ability to dissent. So, there's so many things that you have to be prepared. You have to be ready to take on that responsibility. But I think that most people I know I don't know what most people want. I know what I want. Let's put it that way. And maybe that's all I can know. What is it that I see in this situation? What is it that I want out of this situation? What is it that I need? What's essential in this situation? I see it as a need to evaluate this whole idea that we have the right to betray and to kill and to take somebody else's stuff. I mean, we don't really even have the right to own land when you think about it, because this earth is for all of us, not just, but it's helpful, if you have property that, you don't have like all kinds of, there's a safety to sort of feeling a sense of owning the land, right? A connection to the land. Our relationship to Mother Earth. Is at stake here. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the King of Wands. Now, when the King of Wands comes up for me, I see it as Zelenskyy. Now, Zelenskyy is a Aquarius, but he has his moon in Leo. He has his Saturn in Leo, and he has his Mars in Leo. So he is that fiery energy. And he, from the very, very beginning, when I would pull cards on the Ukraine, he came up as the King of Wands. So we have at the bottom of this situation, we have Zelenskyy. He's in a way the root. And I could see that because it seems to me that he is a voice of the future, Aquarius, double Aquarius. He is a voice of peace. He has Pluto in Libra, conjunct his North Node in Libra. So he is here so that we can sit across the table from each other and open the lines of communication and discuss and look in each other's eyes, and on a human to human level, not from up in the sky or 12 feet away. And that's really kind of what he said. And that's very Aquarian. Let's see what's in the past. The Page of Wands. This is the warning. We've been warned. We were getting warned. It's not like we didn't know about these things. I think he tried to warn us. I think it's significant that he was one of the key participants, whether he chose to be. There's a lot about him that strikes me as like he's just the guy at the time, in the right place, right time, or maybe it's wrong place, right, wrong time, depending on, for us, I think it was the right person at the right time. But he is a human being, and he's giving up a lot to hold the light, the illumination. Let's see what's in the sky. This seems to be a reading on heartbreak. It's everywhere. You feel it. I've been feeling it for, well, intensely. Well, really since the war began. I mean, that was, it's been a process. But the other day when the Russians pulled out and people got to see what they were doing, it was very overwhelmingly emotional, because when you are empathic, which I am, and which many of you are, because you're sort of seeking out this kind of alternative perspective on things. Like, you get a hunch, like, is somebody else getting the same hunch? Let me see, right? So there's this overwhelming grief and sorrow that we are seeing via the television, but the Ukrainians are walking through the hell. And this is the same hell that the Syrians walked through. And if I knew more world history, I'd probably be able to name all kinds of people who've had to do this, walked through this, the shadow of the valley of death. Let's see what's in the immediate future. This Six of Swords. This is interesting. This is generally moving away from troubled waters. I almost feel like there's some kind of truce coming up. Now, this could be peace negotiations or some kind of truce. There is a heartbreak, maybe more of a heartbreak that's sort of in the air, and that might be what creates the truce. How it's seen from the outside. Zelenskyy always comes up as a fool for me as well, which is, the fool is this card is associated with, taking a leap of faith, believing in his people, perhaps, believing in his ideas, believing in the goodness, that the light will overcome the darkness. This card is associated with Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius. And Zelenskyy has his Uranus in Scorpio, like everybody born at that time. And the South Node will be going over his Uranus. And the Pluto, he has Uranus in his chart. Uranus is conjunct the Pluto of Ukraine's chart. And so we're going to have the South Node in this summer go over that point. And the South Node tends to unlock the past, I think, and I think we'll have a better understanding at that time of it's as if and you know, maybe everybody feels this way when they get to these points. It's like, you know, what was that, the war to end all wars, and then we had a war, and then we had another one, and then there's always something. We have to make living more profitable than dying. I think that's what we have to do. So how's it seem that maybe he's foolish, pie in the sky, the fool, the court jester? He is a comedian after all. And although this is not supposed to be about, this reading was not supposed to be about Zelenskyy, he's all over this reading. And so we can use him as an actor, a character in this passion play that we're experiencing together collectively, because of the fact that we're so much more connected than we've ever been. And being connected gives everybody a voice. And you know, not everybody is into peace, love, and harmony. And yet suppressing a voice, I don't know if I think that just makes things come up in distorted ways. It's very easy to delineate the dark from the light, unless you're looking at it from a different perspective, and then maybe it's not that way. But all perspectives in a way are needed for this. Everybody has a lesson in this somehow. Let's see the domestic situation. The Five of Cups, sorrow, deep mourning. But the Five of Cups also reminds us that we can't, oh, hold on, that's not cups. Oh, that's interesting. Is that Pentacles? Five of Pentacles. So this is utter devastation. The Russians are just going to bomb them into oblivion. That's what they're going to do. That's all. They don't care. Just bomb them into oblivion. Hopes and fears, the Two of Pentacles, that they can balance. There's a balancing force here that they'll be able to hold outcome. The Five of Wands. So there's going to be a lot of argumentation. It's going to but the Five of Wands is sort of a little chaotic and a little, it's rambunctious. It's like people like throwing sticks around, but it's a highly creative process. Actually, five for fire is pretty, is much more, the five vibration through the fire element is much more, is much easier than say the five element in the earth sign, which is, you know, the Five of Pentacles, where the people are like destitute and they're walking past the church, you know. That's a harder change because it's a change of the actual things, as opposed to ideas and spirit and being inspired and creativity. So the outcome is this increase in creativity, and then the Judgment card, which I'm actually happy to see. I feel like there are creative solutions in the offing that we can actually do this in a different way. There's Pluto there. There he is. Pluto, Pluto, Pluto. US having their Pluto return. Pluto in the last degrees of Capricorn. When you get to the end of a sign, that's really when the, you know, now it's time to change into the next sign, which is going to be Aquarius, which is about a fixity in thought. Whereas unbridled ambition and a need to strive to be to the top could be definitely a shadow of Pluto in Capricorn, shadow of Pluto in Aquarius is one of tribalism, cliques. How many of you weren't the popular kid in class? How did that make you feel? Feeling isolated or ostracized or different? So there's still a lot of healing to go on, whole lot of healing going on. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the Nine of Wands. This is the Ukrainians willing to fight. The Star, hope, and the Eight of Swords, a dangerous situation that they're going to need to utilize their intuition to get out of. But I do feel with the Judgment card that there is some sort of end to this. Now, that Judgment card, that the position of where that is in this particular kind of reading would be a year out. Maybe that's the ultimate creative solutions once we get past this. But there does seem to be within the next 6 weeks some sort of truce, some sort of break in the action, as it were. All right, well, wow, interesting. Now, I don't know if this is, well, I'm going to do a reading on Zelenskyy next, even though that was just supposed to be the Ukraine. But let's see him specifically. And I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot. This is also very heavy. I think I'd like to use a more modern deck, a little bit, in a way, lighter. So let's take a look. So this is a look at how is Volodymyr Zelenskyy. How is he doing? Where is he at? What's going on? What's ahead? What's ahead for Volodymyr Zelenskyy? The 60-minute interview was tough. Good thing he's a comedian. I think somebody else would have just fell off the deep end by now. you got to kind of laugh at life. You know, my mom always says, if you're not laughing, you're crying. And there's a lot of crying going on. All right. How is Volodymyr doing? So we have the Lovers card. So he's making arrangements. He's the Lovers is about, it's a Gemini card, so it's about communication. It's about dialogue. It's about choices, choosing who to side with, choosing where he can get get the best situation. It's interesting because this is the vibration for the whole year of 2022, the 6th vibration, the Lover's card. So in the 6 is about, numerologically, it's about community and coming together. And I think what my glean is from this whole situation with how things worked out is the power that Zelenskyy had, and the reason I think he didn't fall was because the Ukraine was already so interconnected via the internet and things like that. So, and with the technology of drones and the like, I think that the people who just are regular people who know how to use technology were able to, like, the Russian tanks are here, they're this, they're that, and they just created such a problem for them to quickly come in and out, which is what they had thought they were going to do. That is something that is kind of a winning strategy for the Ukrainians. But in the Donbass and the area where, you know, everybody's like, when's the war going to be over? Is the war going to be over soon? You know, they think it's been 45 days or something. It's been going on since 2015, 14. Was it 16 when Putin went into Crimea, annexed Crimea, and then those green people with the green things came in and took over that border region of the Ukraine of Ukraine and Russia. So it's been going on for years, and Zelensky's been very connected to that part of, like, he went in and says, I'm gonna end the war there. Like, that's what he wanted to do. That was one of his promises. And so he's very connected to that part of the Ukraine and that whole situation. He's also from that side of, there's a river, and excuse me for not knowing the name of it, even if I could pronounce it, that goes right through Kyiv. Well, he comes from the Russian side, right? If that's the sort of center, we'll call that the center of the country, which it probably isn't, but we'll call it the center of the country. It's probably what separates East from West, right? But you know, he was from that side of things. So, you know, he has maybe a deeper connection in a way to that side. And so it's going to be, this is where they're already dug in. And so this is going to be a very different kind of war, I think. This is going to be a little bit more of the traditional stuff, which Russia is better equipped to do. So you know, this is this guy's got to make he's got to make situations. Challenge here is the Knight of Pentacles, which is patience. Another reason that we need to really, like, turn on the love light here and go into your meditative state, connect to the earth, open your crown, bring the light in and up. up through your feet, down through your head, into your heart, and then beam that out to Zelenskyy or to the Ukraine or to the heart to heart, right? And then they will utilize the energy as they need to, because then it's, you know, it's within them. And there can be a dome of protection, and there can be um, that. Let's see what's at the root here. So the Chariot. So this is fate. He is on his soul's path, and he is screwing down the road. This is fast, 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 fast movement. Let's see what's in the past. The King of Wands. He always comes up like this for me. Brave, creative. He's an excellent dancer. You know, all the like fun Leo, sort of fiery things that we love about fire signs. He does have his South Node in Aries, so he's had lifetimes as a soldier. He has Saturn in Leo, which is also sort of that archetype of the leader in battle kind of thing. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the Knight of Wands. So this is more movement. There's more movement here. This is about moving forward on your beliefs. And so he is just, you know, he has a country that's giving their all for their right to be, and their right to be human, and their right to be self-directive. And he is just going along with that because he cannot ask his people to do more than he would. A true leader, just like a true healer, you know, you have to walk, with the immediate future. We have the Four of Wands. This is a victory card, a celebration. So within the next 6 weeks, he's going to have something to celebrate. Of course, when I did the Ukraine cards, we got the truce card there. So that's definitely a reason. Like, stop the killing. Stop the killing. That would be wonderful. How it's seen from the outside, the Wheel of Fortune. I'm glad to see this. This is about the mighty will fall and the meek shall rise. This is about a change, a sea change, as it were. This is big. This is massive. This is Jupiter. Today we have Jupiter and Neptune making a conjunction in Pisces. Where is that? Where is that going? What's that? Where is that happening in his chart? I think that might be his. Is it his 4th house? Wait, hold on, Sag. It's his 10th house. It could be his 10th house. It's in his 10th house, but I think he's got Aquarius on the MC, if I'm remembering his chart correctly. Domestic situation, the 4 of Pentacles. So this is, you know, 4 is a number that likes the earth because it's sort of symbolic of the earth. So there's a stability here in his domestic situation. I mean, this is profound stability in light of what's going on right now. Hopes and fears. We have the Page of Cups. That this isn't just a dream, that's just not pie in the sky wishes, that this is really something that we're really evolving, we're really waking up, we're really, more and more people are aware of the options. Oops, I just dropped the card in my bowl of oatmeal. Strength. That's a wonderful, wonderful card. Strength, Leo. I've been doing cards on Zelenskyy. I've been doing cards on Zelenskyy from the very beginning, but I haven't put it up. Mostly because I've been so busy with my astrology, putting that out, and then with my classes, my astrology classes that I have going on, and preparing for my Kabbalah class coming up. But from the very beginning, when I did his cards, they seemed too fantastic. It went from like horror to victory to beyond the beyond. And while I'm an optimist, I just, sometimes I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way I was raised. Maybe that if you say your wish out, or if you say what you see, that somehow it works against you, which is ridiculous to say because I do astrology and I read cards, but I felt very protective of this man from the very beginning, not wanting to really prognosticate about what was going to happen with him, save for really what I did with his chakra reading, which was astounding and amazing, and his numerology, Kabbalah, and astrology. Well, when I pull cards on him, it looks like this guy is not only the real deal, which I didn't have that much doubt about, actually, romantic that I am, but that this was a real opportunity, that this really could be a thing, a new world order, so to speak, or, out of the disorder comes a new order. When we evolve through concentric rings. And once we pierce the concentric ring of our reality into another reality, it takes time for us. It's disturbing. It's disorienting. You don't know where you are. You don't know what to do. Your body doesn't know what to do. You're in this state of really shock. And those breakthroughs or breakdowns or breakthroughs are usually Uranian in nature, I think. And so there's a lot of this chaos. But beyond the chaos and beyond the maybe reorienting yourself to a new reality, eventually you master the level that you're at. And by the time you're like right at the top of that, like right when I got it all figured out, that's when we evolve again. We pierce that bubble and we continue to grow in concentric rings. And I feel like we are doing just that. And this person, this Volodymyr Zelenskyy, is a conduit of that change. And I think that we really need to support him. Even if you're not, because, I always have the issue of like more weapons. Really? Is that going to make the world a safer place? What's necessary is necessary at this time, because I don't think we're quite out of the woods when it comes to being out of the old paradigm. We still have people like Putin in power. And Biden, I think Biden is a wonderful man. I've always sort of liked him, but haven't always liked his politics. But he is kind of an old guard in a way. So we'll see. But I think what I want to say about this is that from the very beginning, I saw so much opportunity and promise through this soul, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. That I think when we look back at this, we will realize what a great gift this was. What a great gift he was. But it looks like there's going to be some good news there. And if I just look at the news, and even not just the, like the regular media, but like all my alternative sources, it's hard to imagine. Hard to imagine. And yet we have to imagine it. We have to see it. We have to see the peace. We have to see the peace, and we have to be the peace. So whatever you can do in your life to be at peace with yourself, that's what you need to do. That's how you're going to help this, along with the meditation and sending the light and all that stuff, if you want to do that. I'm doing it, so. But this is a big deal, folks. And it is the battle between the light and the darkness. And not everybody's going to agree on who's right and who's wrong here. We can't expect that. That's an unrealistic expectation. What we have to take from it, I think, is that we are more powerful together, and people do deserve the rights to themselves. They also have to be responsible for their brothers and sisters. So we're in this together, guys. We truly, truly are. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, Roxana, for these beautiful earrings. I love them. I actually, chose the outfit because of the earrings. And somebody, I'm going to only use your first name. I got a new client questionnaire from Geraldine, but I don't have, you didn't purchase the reading yet, so I don't have your email to get back to you so we can schedule it, or even to let you know that that you have to pay for it in order for me to have something to contact you with. So you could go to the website, or you can call. There's a number there, and ask questions. So all right, so that's it. Have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe. Much love to you all. I don't even know what to say. I love you guys. Namaste.